Well, hello. I hope you can see me all right there. So, first of all, I want to apologise in the late posting of this best Motability deals, EV Motability deals for this quarter. I was going to do it on Saturday, but the actual website, the Motability website, was late on updating the prices. They did come out yesterday, but I was far too busy with stuff yesterday. And today I'm far too busy with stuff again to do it like in my studio, basically my front living room. Oh, hello Mr. Vscar. So I'm going to have to try and fit in while I'm running loads of errands for Mother, which gives you a quick view of the MG4 here. The other thing I've been doing, which has held me back a bit, is trying to make use of this the vehicle to load ability that this car has. So I've been running all sorts of wiring through the house and that's been fine, apart from when it rains. There's been issues with the adapter on the actual port at the back of the car, and I found it sometimes when charging as well. So I found a genius solution for it, and it's basically it's a little magnetic cover. I'll put a link below so you can get one. That's about £10, £10.99 or something on Amazon, and it basically, goes around the port. It's like a waterproof cover, and you put the cable through it, and it stops the rain getting on the port and the cable, which I find has solved all the issues I had with the vehicle to load, and the occasional problem I've had charging this car when it was getting damp. Now I suppose that solution would be good for other EVs as well, so for a tenner, why not bother with all the hassle? Just get yourself the little 10 quid cover. It's got like padded magnetic things on one side to stick to the car, and I'll put a clip in here of us using it for you to see. But anyway, back at the matter at hand, the Motability prices for this quarter kind of made me feel a little bit sick, because you can now get this SE long range for just $199 up front. You can even get the 51 kilowatt hour one, the one with the slightly smaller battery, for no advance payment. That was $799 when we ordered this one, and this one was $999. Now, what was £2,000 advance payment when I ordered this one was the trophy edition with all the extra toys and things. That's now $999 advance payment, basically what we paid for this one. So if you take into account the fact that you can still get the 750 mobility thing until the end of this year, if you've not received it yet, that means you'd be able to get a trophy one of these for 250 quid of your own money at the end of the day. Now, I have had a look at the other things on there, and I'll probably stop up here for a second and use the on-screen recording on my mobile, but the only other car I can see, like for no advance payment, that you might want to consider, apart from the 51 kilowatt hour version of this, is the Zoe 50 kilowatt, and that's because it has a slightly longer range. The only problem with the Zoe is it's not as big a car, slightly smaller boot. Plus, it doesn't have the main advantage that this car has over almost most of the other cars in there for less than £1,000, and that is it's got the vehicle to load capacity. And what that means is if you're careful with your cabling and that around the house, you should be able to run most of the things in your house on cheap rate EV battery, EV tariff, energy tariff on your home. If you get that, it depends what supplier you're with, but there are lots of what called EV tariffs where you pay a bit more for Leggy through the day, but you save a lot overnight. And the one we've got with the British Gas, is the EV tariff they have, is 9.4 pence per kilowatt hour between midnight and 5 AM. So what I've been doing with this is just filling this up overnight, or topping it up, changing the connectors over in the morning, and then running most things for, I think you have to be under 2.7 or 3 kilowatts. As long as you stay within that range, you don't run things like tumble dryers and washing machines and that off it. As long as you keep within them kilowatt hours, you can run things like TVs and all sorts through the day, and save yourself a shed load on the energy bill. And that's basically what we're doing now that I've solved the problem with the damp connector at the back. But going through the other cars in there, for no advance payment, I can't see it. I mean, I wouldn't go for going off memory here because I've got my computer at hand. I wouldn't go for things like a Fiat 500 with limited range. I think there's a Mazda in there, so we've got 124 mile range with it. There's a Aura Funky Cat in there, doesn't have as much range as the 51 kilowatt version of this. Plus I don't know, that one might have vehicle to load because it's a Chinese car, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't found anything when I've done a little web search out there to confirm it. Going further up the price list from memory, everything else on there, unless you really need a big van or something, personally I don't think it's worth looking at, because these MG4s are the bargain of the century. Even if you were thinking of getting like a diesel car or something, you might as well pay the £199 and get the long range version of this. Because I tell you, over the last month or so I've been using this. I've done some fairly long trips in it and I've not had to use a public charger once. And when I've been looking at other videos of people who've had to use the public chargers, the benefits this car has is, as I think Tesla Bone said when he tested it, is this car charges like a bomb, which means it's basically it charges a lot faster than a lot of other cars on the motorway service chargers. You know, the big things that charge really fast. You might see them, they look like petrol pumps, but they've got cables coming out of them instead of pipes for petrol. But yeah, this car charges like a bomb if you do need more than the extra miles. The other thing I'm keen on finding out about this is, later on this year there's a next power version of it, which is basically, I mean, this is 0 to 60 in just over 7 seconds. The X-Power one is 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. It's like basically a hot hatch version of this coming out. I'd like to see if that comes available on the Motability Scheme. The other one is an extended range. Now this is a long range with a 64 kilowatt hour battery. The extended range one's got a 77 kilowatt hour battery, so I think that's good for well over 300 miles per charge. Oh, now we've got a cyclist holding up lines of cars. And I can't really see anything else, but this is the bargain. This is the bargain to get on Motability, unless you need something substantially bigger to fit massive wheelchairs in the back that you can't fold up. Because I can't fold my mother's wheelchair up into the back of this, no problem. I'll even do it. I mean to get round to doing that video of making it so you can see how you put the wheelchair in the back there without folding the seats down, because you have to slip it in like this and up, stand it up. But yeah, there's nothing else I can say. But if you're needing a Motability car, you haven't ordered, and especially if you've not claimed your £750, which I think you can still do until the end of this year, you're a fool to choose anything else, unless you're a snob and you need like something with a brand name that you find more acceptable on it. You're a snob. But no, this is the car to get. I can't give any better recommendation than going for an MG4, especially after I saw the drop in the prices, and it just makes me wish that I'd had the patience to hold on for a few months before we got this one. That would have saved quite a few £100. But the way things were at the time, we had the pandemic and the war in Ukraine, about 2 to 3 years of the advance payments going up and up and up, and the choice becoming less and less and less. Now you've got quite a good choice. You've still got quite a lot of cars costing a lot of upfront payment, but you have one of these. Now there was about 3 month waiting. We had to wait for this on order, so it might be a bit longer now if there's lots of people ordering them. I mean, the side effect of this video is a lot of people will start ordering them, so that might have an effect on the waiting list, I don't know. But other than that, all I can say is get yourself an MG4. If you need a bit more range, pay the £199 to get the EC. If you want something a bit posher, pay the £999, get the trophy trim. And if you just want the basic one, get the basic one, no advance payment. It still does just over 200 miles of charge, supposedly. So yeah, and you can vehicle to V2L, vehicle to load. You can use the cheap rate lecky that you fill the battery with up overnight in your house during the day and save a fair few bob on your lecky bill as well. Oh, and imagine 9.5 p per kilowatt hour, you're going to be saving a heck of a lot on what it costs to get you around as well, because that's substantially cheaper than running a petrol car. I mean, we're talking 25% the price of petrol to get from A to B. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye now.